Welcome to Godot C game development tutorial series. In this tutorial series, we are going to be using Godot 3 with C# to create a 3D game. At the end of this series, this is what we are going to be creating, which covers a wide range of Godot features that we are going to be looking at, ranging from collision detection, animations, twinning, and many other features. So let's get started. If you do not have Godot installed in your operating system, you can head over to Godot website and download Godot 3, the mono version. From there, you can head over to the Visual Studio Code website and download Visual Studio, which we are going to be using to write our C# code. And C# requires mono SDK, so you also need to download that and install it for your operating system. And from there, we can go ahead and start to create our first Godot C# game project. After installing Godot 3 and Visual Studio Code with Mono SDK, we can go ahead and create our first 3D project. Now, to create a project in Godot is really simple. You just head over to the left side here, press on the button which says New Project, and give your project a name. We browse to the folder where we want to save the game. Now here you can just go and create a new folder and call it 3D runner or anything you want to call it, and then press select current directory and create. Now Godot will automatically create a game project for you. Now after the project is created, we can press on this plus button and add a special. Now this is going to be our main scene. We just rename it as main and press enter. Now from here we can save it. We will create a new folder and name it as scenes and save this folder, this scene inside it. Now from here we can close the game window and head over to the project settings. At the project setting windows, we are going to change the following. At the environment, change the default color to this, that is CBA1F5, and from there you scroll down to the windows and change the game window size to 1280 by 800, and the orientation is going to be landscape. The mode is going to be viewport, and the aspect is going to be kept. So from there you can close this window. Let's go ahead and add camera 2D to our game scene. Now we just press the plus button on top and search for camera. Now please be reminded it's camera, not camera 2D. And from here we are going to select the environment as new environment. Now this will automatically select our environment from the game, and the FOV is going to be 90. The nearest is going to be 0.3 and the farthest is going to be 1000. Now from here we can also change the positions at the transformation. Now the rotation here is going to be negative 17.5. I've already checked these values and this works for me. If you want to do exactly what I do, just do that. And the translation is going to be 0 on the x-axis and 7.8 on the y-axis. And on the z-axis is going to be 12.8. After adding the camera, we can go ahead and add our first mesh instance, which is going to be the floor. Now we can press the plus button and search for mesh instance. Now from here we can give it a mesh shape of cube, and we go to transformation and change the scales. Now on the x-axis I'm going to give it 30, on the z-axis is going to be 500, and we also need to give it a material by heading over to the material and add a new spatial material. Now from here we can run the project and see how it looks. Now the object looks dark because we have not added any light to the scene. Now let's go ahead and do that. Now before I add the directional light, I'm first going to change the name of this mesh instance to floor. and change its z-axis, its z translation to negative 455. And from here now, I will select the main root and then search for light. And we are going to select directional light. Now this is going to be the scene light. After adding the light, we can head over to the transformation and change its position. Now on the x-axis it's 0. On the y-axis is going to be 17.4. And the z-axis is going to be 19.2. Now from there we also change the rotation. Now the rotation on the x-axis is negative 34. And from here we head back to the flow and I'm going to give it a white material color. Now if you select the flow, just select the material that you created and then go to albedo, and from there you select the white color. Now from here, if we can go and run our project and see how it looks. It's looking better now. Now working on 3D is not really easy to see what you're doing. Now if I'm working normally on Godot 3D, what I normally like to do is to split the screen. Now you can head over to the top tab here which says view and select the third option, and from here now we can click on the camera and preview it on the other side. From there we can see what we are doing on the left side. From here now we can convert this flow mesh instance to a static body by selecting the flow, and from there we click on the top tab here which says mesh and press create a static body from the mesh. Now if you look at the flow, the material is still kind of a little bit dark and we want it to be light. Now we can change the color at the material by selecting the material, and from there we head down to emission and enable emission. And this emission we can change it a little bit whiter. Now that color is better. And from here now we can go and add our player, which is going to be a cube. Now we select the main and add a rigid body. Please don't add a rigid body 2D, it's a rigid body, and we name it as player. Now from here we add a mesh instance inside this rigid body and give it a mesh shape of cube, and we give it a material. Now at the material section we give it a color. I'm going to give it a red color. Now I'm going to position the rigid body at y-axis of 3 so that I can see it. Just head over to transformation and change the translation for y to 3. Now from here we also need to add a collision shape to the rigid body. Now we select the player and add search for collision shape. Now the collision shape is going to be a cube. Now from here we can take the rigid body to 5 and test how it looks. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please don't forget to click on that like button and subscribe to the channel, since it will encourage me to create more Godot related tutorials. Once again, see you in the next tutorial.